Evan with I Can Do It Yourself with a great spring video for you, how to do maintenance on your lawnmower. So if it's like everybody else in the country right now, you're about to have to dust off the lawnmower and start mowing that first cut of grass. And while you're going to do that, why don't you get your lawnmower out, do some preventative maintenance on it, and keep it running for many, many years. So we're going to go and start with this lawnmower right here, my lawnmower, and I'm going to go through the steps of making sure the spark plugs are nice, changing the oil, looking at the air filter, and grinding down the blade. And so stick with us as we do lawnmower maintenance. Okay, I have the lawnmower on the bench here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it off. So I've got a lot of leaf matter and different things on here from many years of buildup, and so if you have maybe an air compressor or compressed air in a can or some kind of leaf blower, you're going to want to clean this thing off. And it's not necessarily just to clean it off to make it look nice. I'm trying to clean it off so that way I do not get any matter inside the engine as I'm going to be taking parts apart. As I pull the spark plug out and things like that, I don't want dust to come back in the engine. That would be very dangerous. And that's the whole reason why we're cleaning it out. So let me get it back down off of the bench, and I'm going to clean it and I'll put it right back up. Okay, I've got it blown off, and it's not really totally clean, but hey, that's okay. I just wanted to get a lot of the dust and stuff off of this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the air filter. This is the air filter. It looks like kind of a can on the side of this mower. And I pull that off, and of course the manufacturer would say, "Oh, replace this thing, replace it." But you know, we're not going to do that. All we're going to do is just we're going to bang this thing out and blow compressed air. See how much stuff is inside of here? And it's quite a bit. So that would get sucked up in the engine. We don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and bang this guy out. Woo! Look at all that. So we bang that out, and I'm actually going to take my compressed air and I'm going to nail with that on the back side of it and blow anything else out of there. And while I'm over on this side, this is the fuel cutoff. This model actually has a fuel cutoff. Not all mowers do. But I'm going to turn that, and now the fuel is cut off, so when we tip the thing over, we're not going to have gas spilling out of it, and that would be nice to do, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to blow this out, and I'll be right back. So I've got the filter all cleaned out, and I put it back in the way it goes. It only goes in one way. That'll help the engine out really nice. It'll like us now. Be very happy. All right, now I'm going to take off the spark plug, so I'm going to pull the wire out, and I've already found an appropriate socket for it right here. And it's not a spark plug socket. I don't need that. We're not putting a lot of stank down on this guy, but we're going to pull it off. Just got to be careful not to bust it off. And here we go. Oop, that's it. All I needed. Now I can get it out with my hand. And all we're going to do is inspect this thing, because I don't want to replace it and put a new one in if I don't have to. And most unlikely it's probably going to be fine. But to help me out, I pulled out my car Haynes manual. On the back of the manual, it has this nice little thing about spark plugs, and we'll show you the different things to look at a spark plug. And so here's normal kind of wear, if it's been worn, carbon deposits, ash deposits, oil deposits, which is probably most likely what would happen in a lawnmower, gap bridging, and mechanical damage. That would be a bad one. Detonation, high-speed glazing, and pre-ignition, too hot. Okay, so we're going to look at this guy and let's see if any of those we can recognize, and see if I can zoom into it up against that. Not sure if I can, but I'm looking at this guy, and I'm looking at normal. To me, this looks very normal wear. I don't see any oil on it. I don't see any deposits. I don't see any kind of metal scarring. So to me, this spark plug looks really great shape. It looks fine. I don't need to replace it with anything else. If you do need to replace it, just list down, the numbers are on the side of this, and you can take it to your local hardware store and find one. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in. And as I do this, I'm not going to put any kind of stuff on this. Like for a car, you would need to put some kind of spark plug material on the sides of it so it doesn't stick to the cylinder wall, but we don't need that with just a lawnmower. I'm going to screw it back in there by hand, and I'm going to torque it down with the wrench just ever so slightly. It does not need to be super tight. Again, it's not like a car. You don't need to to do the same kinds of things with it. So here, back on here, and I think that would be it. Alright, I'm just kind of torquing it by hand. I got a big wrench, so I don't want to over torque on it. Alright, and then we make sure we put this guy back in. Okay, and you hear it click, and I felt it in there, so it's in there, so that's good. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the oil. And the way to change the oil on this lawnmower, and of course you might want to look at your manual for your specific lawnmower. This one is like most lawnmowers, it kind of sucks. There's no like drain hole or anything. You've got to actually take this guy out and tip the thing over, let it all drain out, and that's a real pain, but that's what you have to do. So here's the dipstick, and I look in here already, man, it looks green. To me, it looks like grass. It looks like chlorophyll from the grass, and it's reasonably dirty. So this needs replacement. So what we're going to do is I've got a pan. Nice, this is my nice oil change pan. Somehow it's got a sprinkler head in there, but whatever. We'll put that guy down there. Alright. And then you're going to tip this guy over and try to get everything in here. And so I'm definitely going to need 2 hands for this. So I'm going to put this guy in here like this and tip so I don't get any mess anywhere on the concrete or anywhere else. And also make sure that you've got your gas unplugged, or if you don't have that, at least try to somewhat drain the tank. And this is a good bit of advice. If this is sat for maybe a few months, you might want to think about draining your gas, or if it has already evaporated, you know, if it's gone, it's gone. But if it's been sitting for a really, really long time, like all winter, you might think about draining that gas too while you're doing this. So here we go. I'm going to drain it out and we'll be right back. All right, I've got it tipped over, and right now the oil is draining and it's almost done. And there's just a little bit, and there's not that much oil in here, and it looks pretty horrible. And while we've got this tipped over, we're going to go on this other side, because what we're going to do is we're going to take the blade off, and I'm going to sharpen the blade. This is something that most people never do to their lawnmowers, and I tell you what, if you sharpen your blade, that is the #1 thing to have: a nice, clean-cut grass that does not shatter the grass and make it look brown on the edges. That's we have St. Augustine in the areas that I live, and what happens if you run a lawnmower over it that's jagged or the wrong way, you will break the St. Augustine, and the ends of it will become brown. And it will look funny, and I'll show you some examples of that in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find an appropriate socket for this, and I'm going to go start taking this off. Okay, so I have unbolted this, and I've got this out with my nice Craftsman torque wrench. Hopefully they sponsor me someday, guys. Watch me. Alright, and so I'm going to pull this out. Now, I had to really make sure when I did this, because I had to hold the blade and pull at the same time to get it off. And be very careful not to cut yourself or otherwise slip. And of course, as I'm doing this, the oil is still draining on the back side, so I don't want to spill oil all over the workbench, and that would be not good. Okay, so I pull this off, and it comes out, and you can see the bottom here. And these are the 2 pieces. And I want to remember which way this thing goes. Okay, so let's remember which way it goes. So this little lip part is going to go up like that, so it's going to look like this. So this would be the wrong way. Alright, if we put it like that, that's the wrong way. We don't want that. We want it this way. Alright, this is really important, because then the cutting surface would be the wrong side. That would be the cutting surface, and we want this to be the cutting surface. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to my nice little grinding bench right here, and we're going to get this set up. And I'm not going to show you this entirely, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to grind down the blade, and it comes from this direction, because this is gonna go this way. So I'm going to go down, and I'm going to grind this blade, and then I'm going to grind this part. The reason why this blade looks like this is because this is for a mulching mower, so you're going to have this lipped region right here, but I'm still want to grind that. And as you can see, I've actually grinded this before several times. I usually do this every 5 or 6 mowings, just so I have a nice edge, or if I hit some kind of rock or something like that. And keeping those nicks and cuts out of your blade is very necessary. Okay, now that I've got that ground, we're ready to go, I put it back in and I make sure to tighten it down really good because I don't want that coming off, right? So make sure you tighten that really good. And I flip the mower back over, and all you've got to do is just fill this thing up with an appropriate oil, and you're set to go. So your lawnmower is ready for another great season of cutting grass for you. And hopefully it'll last for many, many years. Alright, so thanks guys for watching, and if you want to see regular product reviews or do-it-yourself tips and other do-it-yourself vlogs, just subscribe and like to the videos, and I'll see you later. Thanks!